If you missed it, there is a documentary on Netflix that is #1 in the country right now. It's called The Perfect Neighbor, about a woman named Susan Lorincz. But based on all the body cam footage, she was the worst neighbor that you could possibly have. Now, whether you watch the documentary, you watch the interrogation that just went up this week, or you just want to see a real piece of shit sit here and take no accountability and then finally get their due justice, then here you go. Unfortunately, in order to get to the sentencing, we do have to listen to Susan make another statement first, her plea before the sentencing. But just as a recap, Susan Lorincz was a woman that lived in a neighborhood with a lot of children. The children were constantly playing outside, and she decided that she hated children, so she was going to bother the police department dozens of times, making, honestly, a lot of false reports. It was just a bunch of like crap. Really, truly, genuinely. The Netflix documentary shows all the body cam footage, just raw footage, A to Z, what was going on. Oh, girl was calling about absolutely nothing. And it ultimately all culminates into her taking one of the children's iPads. The kid wants it back, and she basically says, well, go get your mom. The mom finally comes to the house and is like, hey, you need to stop messing with my kid. You've called the police on my kid 6 times over nothing. And Susan went into her house and took a loaded gun and shot the mother of 4 through a locked door. And afterwards, she decided to try to claim it was within the stand your ground laws, using a lot of terminology that investigators were able to prove that she Googled online weeks and months before the shooting. Basically, she Googled a whole bunch of laws, and then the minute that something happened, she decided to shoot this woman. It took quite a while. It took a big community effort, but eventually she was charged with manslaughter. I'm not sure if the charges were upped, but we'll figure that out in the judge's response. But first, let's hear what Susan had to say at the end of the trial after all of the opening statements, the witness statements, and right before she gets sentenced. Now, mind you, she looks a lot different here. I don't think she wanted to eat the prison food.
I'm making a statement so you understand my actions and my reasoning the night of the shooting. My medical disabilities.
I've
had 25 knee
victim.
surgeries on my right knee. Ended up having multiple replacements, and then a catastrophic failure due to an allergy.
Got it. Susan, who is being charged with murder, so far has just randomly called out, my friend was murdered, I was raped, I've had 25 knee surgeries, and I have allergies. So all of this is crazy. I mean, she's just using every single possible thing that she can to act like she has no accountability here.
I went back to having another knee replacement, and I was burned during surgery.
Oh!
And so I had gotten very ill, and my knee literally goes backwards. I had a laminectomy of my lumbar spine from the accident in 2019. I was back-ended at a stoplight.
Clearly, you can hear how Susan is using every excuse in the book, talking about her surgeries and medical conditions and trying to explain that this is why this murder was committed. Well, I know that the camera wasn't zoomed in, so let me zoom in for you and show you what the judge looks like. Susan, I don't think he gives a about your surgeries, okay? I really don't. Like, it's actually, like, offensive to me that she is sitting here saying all of this stuff when, like, what has he been through?
And there was a horrible complication. My dura from my spinal cord actually healed onto my actual spine. I had I fell the first time in 2019 and had sustained internal injuries. I had bruised my lung, and I had gotten a ganglion cyst on my right wrist.
Ganglion
The second fall was November 20.
You don't even need to get those removed. You don't need to get ganglion cysts removed.
2022. I fell because I walked into a bathroom. The light was supposed to come on, and it never came on.
The light didn't come on in the bathroom in 2022.
With the actual cylinder inside, and so it rolled out from under my foot, and I fell backwards. And I had torn my rotator cuff and muscles in my left shoulder.
Okay, hold on. Is there a world at all? I'm trying to rationalize this because this is not how I expected the sentencing to start. This is crazy, all right? Do you guys think there's a world at all where she knows that she's going away, so she's trying to set up some medical disabilities so she can argue for them later? Like, I don't think that would be effective. I don't think anybody cares, but I'm like, why would she do this? Like, this is just crazy.
The 2019 accident also impacted my cervical spine, and I lost feeling in my hands and had to have therapy. I had horrible migraines.
Dub said maybe she's trying to connect with the judge. Dude, I thought that too, possibly. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, I am not crazy. I'm talking to chat because we're live right now on Twitch. But now, obviously, I'm on this channel with you right now. But you can watch us live at twitch.tv/Boze vs. the world. I can't wait to hear him lay into her. But let me skip through some of this horse shit.
I also have cataracts in both eyes, and the one on my left is progressing faster. And I have some heart issues and high blood pressure. I have carpal tunnel in both hands and muscle loss and diminished gripping capabilities. I have never ever dealt with someone who was that violent that quickly. And so I was terrified of this woman.
The homebody?
Terrified. You know, I've never
The woman that just wanted to be at
the
home?
first time I've met them throw something at me and get so physically abusive.
Dude, I'm sorry. If you call the cops on my kid 6 times, nonetheless one, I'm knocking your ass out. And everyone else said that she didn't even throw the sign. This was just pure hatred. It was just pure premeditated hatred. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to hear too much more of her statement. Sometimes I don't like to let these people speak when they clearly haven't thought about their actions at all. We'll do a little bit more, and then I would love to hear from this judge.
As far as the kids saying I said racial slurs to them, it never happened. As far as the child, Israel is concerned, he said I called him a slave. I have never called anyone a slave.
Yes, you did. I fully believe you called that child a slave.
Not an adult, not a child, just something I wouldn't do.
And to say
that I called him the
also,
N-word.
As a black woman online that grew up in the South, I've been called a lot of crazy shit. Slave? You called the children slaves?
And I don't know where he's getting this from. I don't understand.
She did.
I
She
was
used the hard
married
R.
to a non-white man. He was actually
She gave the Spanish man on the four-wheeler the middle finger. Like, she's literally just racist. This is like a textbook rape. God, guys, I'm sorry. This, outside of the case of what happened, the situation, the murder trial, when we just like take Susan out into the wild as just like a random racist woman, this level of racism is so extreme, it's almost comical. You called the children slaves? I just need you guys to understand how crazy that is.
I was married to a non-white man. He was actually Middle Eastern, brown skin, and someone had called him a sand digger.
I've never seen anybody so racist that I had to start humming a spiritual. I had to start humming an old spiritual to help me out. How you gonna say that you never said it and then say the N-word, and then just say
I would never do that to a child, ever. And I sang professionally in New York.
I thought she was going to say with the black choir.
I sang for Charles Gamble, Ernie Susser, and I had voice coach Jim Gassett, who had people in Dreamgirls, Miss Saigon, Les Mis, and I sang with Larry Woodard from the Metropolitan Opera. Larry is black.
Black
Charles
people!
is black. That said, I would like to make a statement to AJ's mom, children, and friends.
I don't think they want to hear from you.
It is with heavy heart and great remorse I write this letter to you. First and foremost, I am so sorry that I took AJ's life. I never intended to kill her. The night I shot that gun, I was confused as to why she was screaming and pounding on my door. I had an idea that Israel told her I had hit him. I could not understand why she was so angry. And she truly scared me. Now that I know he told her I hit him, I am just profoundly sad.
Enough. Take me to the sentencing.
I don't generally look at letters and other things that are in PSI, and I didn't put any weight on them in this case. The reason I do that is because I think I've pretty consistently, over the last 17 years, sentenced the same, pretty much on the nature of the offense, whatever the person's prior record might be, and whatever I think they may do in the future. I think that's pretty much how I do it. If I start looking at letters from friends, well, the problem is that I may give a break to someone because they have friends, and someone who doesn't have friends doesn't get that break. I do find that the defense has produced evidence that she would qualify for departure because she has for a mental disorder. I think they found. I find they've proven she has PTSD, which is a recognized mental disorder. And
He being nice about it. He know there are a couple more screws loose.
on your second one, the capacity of the defendant to appreciate the criminal nature of the conduct,
Ooh.
I don't find there was sufficient evidence to prove that departure. There was no indication that she ever did not understand what she was doing,
Correct.
or that shooting at a person would be against the law, or that she couldn't conform with the law in any way.
Okay, sir.
As a matter of fact, she seemed to be, prior to the shooting, calling the police. So it didn't appear to be any situation where her capacity was impaired in any way. I don't find there's evidence that the victim was the initiator, willing participant, aggressor, or provoker of the incident. Otherwise,
She set it up in such a covert way. You poke a bear enough times, or those dudes that will like fuck with their girlfriend a whole lot and then start recording it, and then they act like that's kind of what she's doing. AJ was pissed, but she wanted a conversation with her neighbor that had been fucking with her kid, and that's what adults do. They have conversations, and sometimes they're uncomfortable. Sometimes they don't go well, especially when you've been calling the police on people's kids. But that's life.
so I find that the seriousness of the offense outweighs any legal departures
Wow.
that could be applied in this case.
So he's explaining why he got to
I'm
this.
primarily
sentencing
looking
he's
at
about
the
to get
harm
out.
inflicted upon not only the victim, who of course lost her life, but her family. She has 4 children, all of whom were present during the offense or somewhere in the general vicinity, or at least home. It certainly will have a traumatic impact on their lives for the rest of their lives. They'll live their whole lives without their mother, which I think is a very significant harm inflicted upon them by Miss Lorincz.
Also, this video that we're watching the tail end of one that is almost 3 hours long. Prior to this, and I'll put the link in the description, a lot of people came in and they gave victim impact statements as well as some additional information. I personally don't like to react to victim impact statements. A lot of times this is an opportunity for a person affected by the crime to let the judge know how this hurt them. And it's a very deeply personal moment. They are online, so if you want to watch them, I definitely don't judge for that, but I just don't like to include them in my videos anymore. A little personal thing. Every true crime podcaster or YouTuber should have their own little moral code book, and they should explain it to you, okay? You as a viewer, you should know what people's boundaries are, and I don't judge people for what they do or don't do. So anyways, I like to just tell you like where my lines on certain things are. We don't do 911 calls. We don't do victim impact statements anymore. Have in the past, but haven't done it for years. But if you want to watch them, I don't judge. It's online. We'll put the link in the description. But it gives a lot of additional information.
When I look at the nature of the offense, I find that the shooting was completely unnecessary in this case.
Yep.
Miss Lorincz was behind the door. The door was locked. When I listened to every aspect of the trial and every aspect of sentencing here, it's the facts don't rise to a murder charge, but they are very aggravated manslaughter. Because this case, the shooting was.
I wish that they could have found more stuff on the computer or more something to really make this like murder 2 or something. But I do like that he added that aggravated onto the manslaughter, because that can carry a pretty hefty sentence. I actually don't know what the sentence is here.
I find
Nobody say it in chat.
more on anger than fear. And I think that's pretty well established in this case. So when I weigh it out, and believe me, I find that, she's a victim of child sex abuse, was a significant mitigating factor. And she has no criminal record, which is also a significant factor.
Man, he gave her
However,
a
we
lot
also
of
have a
grace.
tremendous
He's trying
harm
to be
inflicted
fair.
upon this family. What I'm going to do in this case is she being adjudicated guilty of manslaughter with a firearm,
Guilty.
or serve
Okay.
25 years in the Department of Corrections
25 years.
with credit for 538 days. It's $100 cost of prosecution, $100 fine, court cost.
I gotta say, I would love to hear. I don't know what chat's saying because I know you guys all want murder too. But if they charge for murder too and they don't convict her, then she walks. Okay, so aggravated manslaughter, we gotta take it. I would have loved to hear a 30 here. What's the maximum? I would have loved to hear a 30 year, but she's an old bitch. She's 25 years. She almost didn't get charged, guys. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it.
Good luck to you, ma'am.
Chloe
You
said
have
she
30
ain't got
days
that
to
long.
appeal.
Let's take it.
Is the defense requesting the appointment of public defender for purposes of appeal?
Yes, sir. Just a few more things I want to put on the record.
Yes,
There was
ma'am.
never an
Oh, her
offer
eyes are
by the state. The state had
big.
asked us to make any
That is the biggest I have seen Susan Lorinc's eyes. She's afraid now. Susan, you're going to be in there with black people. If you missed when Susan was initially charged, prior to this, it was like a year and a half before the sentencing. Susan does not always have that sweet little innocent lady face. This is what she looked like when they told her what the charges were. That lady is full of hate. It's very obvious to me that Susan is a hateful racist. I really tried in the other video to be like, I won't say it. You can see it with your own eyes. But there was no way for me to talk about this case without talking about the racial aspects of it, because personally, that's a lot of what I think it was driven by.